Now, as we have learned what charging by friction means, the second aspect is static electricity is charging by induction. Now you need to keep in mind that charging by friction involves insulators as well, but charging by induction usually involves only the conductors. So let's move diagram to diagram. We have two metal spheres that have insulating stands. We have insulating stands. These stands are insulating because we don't want any charges to flow down to the bottom. We only want charges to remain on the metal conducting spheres. These two are joined together. Now, we brought a balloon which was positively charged, or any object which was positively charged. This positive charge will attract which charge? Negative charge. So all the negative charges from these two spheres will gather at the farthest end nearest to the object that is brought near. So we have electrons, or you can say the negative charges accumulated on this side of sphere A, and as this side of sphere becomes more negatively charged, then we can automatically tell that this side of the sphere B is more positively charged. This does not mean that the protons moved from here to here, but rather it means that all the electrons from this and all the electrons from this, they moved towards this farthest end. And remember that protons never move. Now we are going to create some space between these two spheres. When we created some space between these two spheres, the electrons will remain in this and the protons will remain in this. The sphere B will be deficient in electrons and it will be known to be positively charged, and this will be negatively charged, and thus we have separated the charges. We have separated the negative charges and the positive charges. In last diagram, we removed the object that we brought near because we don't need it anymore. We have already separated the charges, and this is how we separate the charges. Now, my question to you is, what will happen if we are not going to create a space between the spheres and we are going to remove this? Before creating a space, if we are going to remove the charged object that we brought near, the charges will again be neutralized, as there won't be any space. It will be just like this, and just assume that we don't have this object right here. So the negative charges will be spread out equally because there are more positive charges present over here. Okay? So the negative charges will be spread out equally and we'll be having neutral spheres as diagram 1. So if we want to separate the charges, we need to create a space between first, and then we need to remove this object that we brought near. This was known as charging by induction, because we have induced the charges. There is no friction because nothing is being moved. Rather, charges are being separated and induced. Now, in the previous diagram, we had two spheres. In this diagram, we are going to take a look at having only one sphere and a charged object. The diagram 1 tells us that there is a neutral object as there are equal number of positive and negative charges. In the exam paper, if we are asked to draw such diagrams, then we need to take care that if we are drawing 5 positive charges, then we are also drawing 5 negative charges to show that it's neutral. In the second diagram, we are bringing a negatively charged object over here. Now, the negatively charged object will attract the positively charged object, but it will repel the negative charges that are present inside the sphere, which causes the negative charges from this side to move to this side. Now, the negative charges are trying to repel furthest away as they can, but there is a boundary over here and they cannot come out of this sphere. That's why this is the farthest they can go. Now observe that the positive charges, although they are attracting this charged object, they remain in their same positions because we have already learned that the positive charges or the protons will never move. Now, in the third diagram, we are creating a pathway for the electrons to move to the ground. Why do we do this and what does this mean? This experiment right here shows that we are earthing the charges. This is termed as earthing, which simply means that we are having a connection with the ground or the earth. Earth is the biggest conductor. Why? Because if we are connecting it to the earth, the electrons will be easily able to flow from this connection down to the earth, and there will be only positive charges left over here. Or we can, in another experiment, if we reverse the process, we can also have electrons coming from the earth into the sphere. So basically, earth is the biggest conductor, and earth can either give electrons or receive electrons. In the last diagram, we have more positive charges, less negative charges. We are also making two negative charges because some of the electrons might be left, and we are having less negative charges. This will still mean that this sphere is now positively charged. This was for one sphere. Earthing, as we have already discussed, is making a connection to the ground, and this can happen. Now, in this scenario, we have a positive rod that we have brought near. Because of this, earthing will mean that we are trying to take more electrons from the earth into the sphere, because the electrons are now attracting the rod